My problem with self-help culture and motivational culture and the rise of these motivational self-help gurus and why I don't vibe with it. Now, let me make it very clear. I'm not against the idea of people working really hard to make it big in life and, survive comfortably economically in this society that we live in. No, I'm all for people doing the best they can to achieve their goals. However, my issue with self-help culture and this motivational culture where it says anybody can do anything they want in life, can achieve anything they possibly could want if they have the right mindset and believe in themselves. The issue I have with that is, on one level, just a very simple level, it lacks so much creativity and imagination. This idea that anybody can do whatever they want, it lacks foresight, it lacks a proper perspective and imagination on a deep, deep level. Just a simple example. What chance do people in sub-Saharan Africa or really poor parts of, let's say Bangladesh, Pakistan, have to become wealthy and to survive comfortably economically? Really, think about it, right? They say here in the West, in America, anybody can do whatever they want. Even in America, if you're born into a very, very poor family, let's say in the projects, in the ghetto of, let's say, the Bronx in New York, statistically, you are far less likely to have a stable upbringing. Statistically, if you're born in great deprivation, there's a higher chance that you're going to be abused at a young age. You're going to have parents that have been, involved in alcoholism or drug abuse, growing up in a neighborhood of violence, and just a lot of bad influences. That does not equal the same opportunity as somebody who grows up in a more stable and affluent upbringing. So automatically, that on that level, it lacks imagination, because you have to kind of, a lot of times in life, respect statistics. You have to go by statistics and the numbers, instead of this fairy tale notion that anybody can do what they want. Instead of just believing, how about look at the numbers? How about look at the data? All right. For example, how men who grow up in a fatherless home, they have a much higher chance of engaging in criminal behavior or getting arrested early in life. That is not, because it's the person's fault. It's not because they didn't believe in themselves or stick to the right moral boundaries. That is simply not true. There is a thing called environmental upbringing, environmental precondition. That is why I advocate for a society that, on a systemic level, pushes for everybody being brought up in a stable, healthy, productive manner where their needs are met, so that way we don't have to battle and fight with each other. Because think about it, in the capitalist culture, this entire motivational thing, right, where self-help culture, it really lacks creativity on that level, because it doesn't realize that we live in a competitive hierarchy. In the monetary system, you live in a competitive hierarchy where your success must come at the expense of somebody, whether it's your rival, someone trying to get the same job as you. Your success comes at the expense of others, and that's just the way it is. There's no changing that until we actually change the structure of the system. So, self-help culture can only do so much for you, and like I said, I'm all about people pushing to become the best version of themselves and help each other, and I'm all about that. But what we need to do is actually communicate on a higher level, on a higher wavelength of understanding to each other, to form communities that have the same value systems, the same understandings, to see that, sure, you should do the best you can, but what if we work together, if we all cooperate together to achieve the same ends? Rarely do you find self-help culture and motivational culture talk about communal well-being or collectivism, collective well-being. So yes, do the best you can, but you need to find communities of people. You need to find groups of other people who want to achieve the same things than you. You should cooperate together. You should criticize capitalism. Yes, do the best you can, but how about we harshly criticize a system that condemns billions of people on this planet every single day to starvation and tremendous economic hardship? Why don't we talk about that a little bit? That's seen as very negative. It's seen as very so pessimistic. You're getting you're being a hater. You're getting in the way of my goals and my dreams if you criticize the system. How about we just shut up and do the best we can? It lacks creativity. It lacks imagination. That is why I'm not really for that kind of stuff. The self-help, this obsession with the fact that anybody, with the idea that anybody can be a president, can be president. Like, no, I don't know. Have you seen the campaign contributions to the political representative, like the political candidates, where their money comes from, how they are brought onto the scene? How do presidential candidates just appear on the stage? Because they've gone a certain path. They've been supported by major corporations to get to where they are. So there is tremendous systemic oppression and a lot of systemic obstacles that get in the way of most people being able to make it so-called, become wealthy in this capitalist society. Unfortunately, the majority of people cannot make their dreams come true, no matter how much self-help so no matter how much motivational content they consume, no matter how much they read about how to improve their lives. There's a lot of obstacles, and that's just a sad reality. It's a very sad reality that we live in a world where we have the technology and the resources to provide an incredible life for all people. Instead, self-help culture and motivational culture really reduces us all into, these hyper-individualist people who try to aspire for just merely making money and making our dreams come true in a financial, economic sense. Whereas in a true society that is sustainable, everyone has that already met. There's no need for self-help or motivational aspiration to have your needs met. The society is structured to take care of you to begin with, and then the next level of goal achievement of great goals is actually to help other people to become inventors, thinkers, artists, creators, visionaries, problem solvers. That's what really self-help culture should be towards, inspiring us to actually think beyond this narrow confines of the tunnel vision that's been provided to us by capitalism. Look beyond that and try to help one another, try to improve the world, really try to make the world a better place, and more than anything, use our imagination to think beyond, right? To think beyond that there is really no final frontiers when it comes to human development and just making things better for everyone. So I'm not going to go into it too much, but that's one criticism I have of self-help culture and this motivational culture, that it lacks creativity, it lacks foresight, it lacks a proper imagination to see things as they are, as opposed to what you think they ought to be. So that's my problem, and I think we can do much better if we come together and realize our true potential as a human family. All right, peace out.